I think we good. I think we good. I think we good. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's up? Let's get this started, y'all. Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. Let's get this show started. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in for episode 187 each and every Thursday and Sunday at 10:30. Again, I want to thank y'all for tapping in. Y'all are always amazing. Shout out to some of our day ones and also our badge holders in the building already. So I hope y'all got that great energy. Stay engaged in the chat because you know what I'm saying? I had an amazing day and I'm only going to give y'all that great energy as well. I want to thank starting off the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. I also want to thank some of y'all that have been supporting my new EP that's out on every music platform called Winners Loyalty. All you gotta do is pop up Ashley Lovechild, and my new EP will pop up 6 songs of fire, especially for my hip hop lovers. And for those, if this is your first time watching, again, thank you, and I appreciate your support. I want to let y'all know we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 11,000, so continue to like, subscribe, and share. It helps with the growth of the show. Leave dope and interesting comments. And again, I appreciate it immensely. We got over 450 rewatchable videos of this podcast on this channel. With no further ado, let's get this thing started. A quick shout out though to the badge holders in the building, to the chat already in the building, to some of our day ones already in the building. A quick shout out to Culture in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Hazel, appreciate Hazel for tapping in. Make sure y'all go get that new album, Cover Girl, fire album. Shout out to Tremont in the building. Yeah. Appreciate you tapping in. Again, we got badge holders and day ones already in the building. Shout out to Ebony in the building. Shout out to Winter in the building. Shout out to King P. Thank you for that gifted. King P. Love, brother. Keep up the work. Thank you. Keep up the fire show. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you each and every episode. Always contributing and showing that love to the show. A simple like is good enough for me, but again, I appreciate the contribution as well. And shout out to Solo Slim in the building. Appreciate you, my brother, for tapping in. What's good? Appreciate you tapping in, Solo Slim. One of our other badge holders in the building. Them badge holders be showing up and showing out. So again, I appreciate y'all as always. All right, y'all. Let's move on to our first segment of the night. Y'all already know how we do this. Popular opinion. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records, where the label motto is create, document, and inspire. Make sure you go to Instagram at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. All right, y'all. First question of the night, popular opinion. And y'all already know these are not my questions. These are the world's questions, y'all. So stick to the answers in the questions, all right? And again, don't forget to stay engaged in the chat, y'all. Y'all been super, super amazing with that. All right, y'all. First question of the night. First question of the night. If you needed features for your song, meaning if you was an artist, if you needed features for your song, all time, again, y'all, all time, meaning at their best, if you needed a feature for your song all time, which one are you going with? All right. Number one, Ja Rule and Ashanti. Number two, Fabulous and Little Mo. Number three, ASAP Rocky, Rihanna. Number four, Timbaland and Missy Elliott. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Again, the question is, if you needed features for your song all time, okay, all time, that matters, all time. If you needed features for your song all time, which are you going with on your list? Again, number one was Ja Rule and Ashanti. Number two was Little Mo and Fabulous, or Fabulous Lil Mo. Number three was ASAP Rocky, Rihanna. Number four was Timbaland and Missy Elliott. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Me personally, all these artists are great. That's why I said all time greatness. Um, Timbaland and Magoo, Timbaland and Missy had a style that can't be like duplicated at all, and it was always so different, and it always stood out. ASAP Rocky, Rihanna, if you give them the right beat, they're gonna deliver. It's gonna be something real fire. It's gonna shut down the summer. It's gonna be something real fire. Little Mo and Fabulous, to me, that's something that's like, you know, that's ghetto fabulous. Like it's hood. It's a big tune. It's always gonna play on a record, play at the parties. And Ja Rule and Ashanti, I don't think people really remember like that time when Ja Rule and Ashanti was really putting them records together, and it was just something fire. For me, I would say ASAP Rocky and Rihanna. I would say that. I would say that. I probably should say that. But based on my music, I'm definitely going to go Fabulous and Little Mo, me personally. So I'm going with Fabulous and Little Mo. In the chat, I saw Beyonce and Jay-Z. They not on the list. But from missing a word from so basically the chat went with Ja Rule and Ashanti. I'm not mad at that because as a duo, they was special, to be honest with you. They got a lot of top tier records that still lives on still to this day that are fire songs. So, but me personally, I'm going with Fabulous and Little Mo. A good list, Timbo and Missy. Yeah, Timbo. People forget Timbo and Missy used to just have that sound. Not just had the sound, but they had that sound that you just know it was a Timberland beat and it was like a Missy Elliott style, and that style was flawless, to be honest with you. But again, I'm just speaking for me. I'm speaking for me and the type of music I do. I would have definitely chose Fabulous and Little Mo, me personally. Again, in the chat, they went with Ashanti, Ja Rule, and I also see Timbaland and Missy Elliott in the chat as well. The rest of the world at 35%. So this was a very close race. Over 10,000 people voted on this, might I add. Over 10,000 people voted on this. The rest of the world at 35% went with ASAP Rocky and Rihanna. They just said two. King P. Shout out to King P. He went with Fab. He went with Fab and Little Mo as well. But again, the rest of the world chose ASAP Rocky and Rihanna at 35%. Over 10,000 people voted on this. This was very close, y'all. This was extremely close because the next person was like at 25. So it was extremely close for three. One got kind of blown out the water, but it was close. It was very close. So again, I'm not mad. There's no wrong answer to this. I think this is all come down to style. If you're an artist, the type of artist you are, whether you want something to go with what you do or go against what you do. So it's all artistic in some sort of way. So yeah. So again, the rest of the world went with ASAP Rocky and Rihanna at 35%. All right, y'all, moving on to our next popular opinion question. Biggest lie you was ever told. Wow. Biggest lie you was ever told. Number one, you are... Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, when I put these questions in, I don't make these questions up. So sometimes I don't even look at the answers. I'm just putting it there and be like, all right, let me just let the chat rock out. All right, y'all. Biggest lie you was ever told. Number one, you are not the daddy. Number two, it's all about you. Number three, you have time. Wow. Number four, if it was meant to be. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Again, the biggest lie you was ever told. Number one, you not the daddy. Number two, it's all about you. Number three, you have time. Number four, it was meant to be. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. All of these is kind of outrageous, but a few of these is very realistic. I'm guessing for the fellas, well, obviously for the fellas out there, the biggest lie you could ever be told, or one of them, is you are not the father. You know, so that one hurts, especially if you've been taking care of a child and then finding out later on that's not your child. So that's a huge lie to tell a man. That's probably one of the biggest lies you could tell a man. That's like top two, top three. I'm just keeping it honest with you. But the rest I think applies to everybody, right? It's all about you, right? So that was another choice. We also seen you have time. That's also another one when people say you got all the time in the world. No, you don't. That's the biggest trick in the world, is you do not have all the time in the world. Make your time count in everything that you do. And then the fourth one again was it was meant to be. Me personally, I hate that saying. When people say, well, you know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Now, I don't believe in meant to be's, baby. I believe in hard work, dedication, meets opportunity, creates some sort of luck, but I don't believe in meant to be. And basically, based off your work, you put the 10,000 hours in to create opportunities for yourself. So I don't believe in meant to be's. If you was meant to be over there, then you work for what you get, in my opinion. And also, it's also what you know and who you know. So there's a combination of those things. So the meant to be's, I don't believe in it personally, but you know, some do. In the chat, I'm seeing you are not the daddy. It's hilarious. Yeah, for real. Good evening. Shout out to Rowan Jack in the building. My brother Rowan Jack in the building. Good evening, my people. Just got back from taking the kids to the playground. That's what's up, Rowan Jack. Always on special daddy duty. Shout out to Rowan Jack, one of our badge holders, one of our day ones. Appreciate you as always tapping in, man. So yes, the biggest lie you was ever told, again, you are not the daddy. Number one. Number two, it's all about you. Number three, you have time. Number four, it was meant. I'm sorry, if it was meant to be is number four. If it was meant to be was number four. So let me know again what y'all think in the chat. So me personally, I'm going with if it was meant to be. That's just a terrible lie you could tell somebody. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. No, you got to make things happen. You just got to do that. Like, I don't understand that notion, because you're relying on faith. When faith has nothing to do with your hard work, but you could prepare yourself for opportunity. So for that, for me, is that's for me. In the chat, I'm seeing a mix of answers. I'm seeing you have time. You could be a badge holder too. You could be a sexy badge holder too. Them badges, man. Them badges is fire. You know what I'm saying? Again in the chat, y'all went with you have time. Again, I went with if it was meant to be, it would be. The rest of the world at 43% went with you have time. And over 5,000 people voted on this. That's a terrible lie. I hate when people say that, like, yo, you got time. You got time. You don't got time to figure it out. You got to figure it out and move forward. But the crazy thing is, right, there's a scientific fact that people could make but so many decisions in one day. You could push it to the limit. Like if you go crazy for 3 days straight, there's gonna be 3 to 4 days after that where it's best that you don't make no decisions at all. Simple and plain. Like, it's not good for us to always be constantly moving, but we don't have no time. We really don't. Slow and smooth. Smooth is fast. I like that. Having pace. Pace is also an amazing. Shout out to Paul in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Hey, good night. Big Paul in the building. One of our other dedicated folks, always showing love in the chat, man. Appreciate you tapping in, Paul. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Hollywood Need to Ask Us. Came up with the segment because there's a lot of trash ass movies in Hollywood, except for July. But I digress. I got better movies. I have better ideas for movies and or movie series. So my Hollywood Need to Ask Us tonight is, I would love to see a new sports movie that evolved around boxing. And boxing was probably one of my first loves growing up, then football, then basketball growing up. But boxing was like it. So I want to see a new boxing movie, but it's based in the 80s and based around the middleweight division, where it was around that time, it was some of the most exciting boxing we probably ever received in history. The 80s, when you have guys like Marvin Hagler, known as Marvelous Marvin, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy the Hitman Hearns, Roberto Duran, Ian Berkeley, and John Moby. John Moby. Those fights used to be something special. Even if you, and it's crazy, like, I was very little and still love the fights. And the older I got, I will always go back to watch those old fights, and I appreciated it even more. So I would love to see a movie based on the 80s. Like, I know they did a movie about Roberto Duran, and they included Sugar Ray Leonard in a little bit, or whatever the case may be, but it was just on him. I want to see what the energy and the fanfare and the in the ring and out the ring, revolving all of those, boxers right then and there, and for them to create such an event, because they was all skilled and it was all different type of style. Sugar Ray Leonard was just nice with his in and out pause. Marvin Hagler, he's the bruiser. Tommy the Hitman Hearns, he's tall and lanky, pause, and had that pop. So it was all different styles, and I would love to see a movie based on that and relive those fights in a movie style type of setting. So even if they wanted to make it a movie series, I think that would be even better because they have more time to cook. So again, I would love to see a boxing movie based on the middleweight fighters in the 80s. Again, revolving Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas the Hitman Hearns, Roberto Duran, Iran Burley, and John Moby. So again, I think that would be absolute fire. Cocaine boxing. Yeah, that type of style of boxing at that time, I don't think we'll ever see it again. Like, we got great fighters and exciting fighters now, but they don't fight each other. They really don't. Like, they find different ways to duck each other. They find different ways to stay undefeated, and they don't fight each other. And people, we want to see the fights. We don't got no problem paying the money on to see the fights, and all they doing is ducking each other. Everybody's like, yeah, we want to see him and him. They like, yeah, nah, I'm going to take this fight over here. I'm going to take that fight over there before giving the people what they really want to see. So, Inferno Boxing Series, fire, yes, yup. Show us. Shout out to Dan in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit them likes, hit them 100s while you're here and being weird. So appreciate you tapping in. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our must-see segment. I'm going to give y'all some must-fire movies to watch. Y'all gave me a few that I went to go watch, and I must say, it was fire. I recently The chat had told me about the movie Warrior with Tom Hardy, and it was a really good movie. Really good movie. Really good watch. Um, the story was great. Uh, Even though I hated the story because it disposes fathers and brothers and friendships, but it was a good movie. It was a really good watch. So thank y'all for that. Um, that was a dope movie. I will say that, and I will watch it again. That was a dope movie. Respect from Poland. Appreciate you tapping in. We got Poland in the building, y'all. That's what's up. Appreciate you tapping in. Again, this is Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast, and I am Ashley Lovechild. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna give y'all 3 must-see movies. Put this on your list. Don't play with it. It's Thursday night. Make sure you go tap into these movies throughout the weekend. My number 1 must-see movie. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. Come back after you watch it and tell me about it. We'll talk about it on live. Came out in 1999, directed by Mike Barker. This movie stars Reese Witherspoon, John Brolin, Terrence Sweeney, Terrence Howard, Rocky Carroll, Kate Hendrickson, and Alcidro Navola. I got the name right. Barely. But it's a must-see fire movie again. It came out in 1999. It's called Best Laid Plans. Fire movie. I'm not going to ruin it for y'all, but it's about a young man that works a dead-end job. His father just passed away, and you have to watch the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for you. It's a fire must-see movie, I'm telling you. So make sure y'all tap in to see Best Laid Plans. And the one that came out in 1999. My second must-see movie, fire movie as well, came out in 2006, directed by Richard Donner. This movie stars the legendary Bruce Willis, David Morse, Mos Def, Richard Wink, Robert Recca, and David Zayas. This movie is called 16 Blocks. Action-packed fire movie about a young man who is about to be a witness for the state, and they got to get him down to the courthouse, and you have to watch the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for you. It's an absolutely fire movie. One of my favorite Bruce Willis movies outside of the Die Hard series, but must-see fire movie. Ashley needs to do a Calvin Klein commercial. Ashley has good You see everything gened out. You know what I'm saying? Everything gened out. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, love it. Sorry. So all right. So it's a fire movie. It's a fire movie. Shout out to Ali in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. All right, y'all. So again, we got Best Laid Plans and 16 Blocks. My last and final must-see movie came out in 1992, way back. You know, this movie is directed by Bill Duke. This stars Lawrence Fishburne, Jeff Goldblum, Victoria Dillard, Yvette Hidden, and Roger G. Smith. Fire movie. Make sure y'all tap in to see Deep Cover. Sounds like what it is. We got a cop fresh out of the police academy, was asked to jump into, deep cover to catch the rest of the movie. You gotta tap it. You see, I like how I did that, right? To catch the rest of the movie. I ain't gonna ruin it for you, so make sure y'all tap it to see Deep Cover. I gave y'all 3 classic movies to tap into. So again, watch them. Let me know. Come back. We'll talk about it on live, and it's a great movies to watch. So make sure again y'all see Best Laid Plans. Remember the one from 1999, 16 Blocks, and Deep Cover. Make sure y'all tap into those movies. And the reason why I'm specifying the one in 1999, the other one I did not see, because there's a lot of the same name movies. And I remember y'all told me about I told y'all about a movie called Shattered that came out like in the early 90s, that y'all told me about a newer version of Shattered. So that's why that mattered, and I did go to see that newer version of Shattered, and it wasn't good in my opinion. But I still watched it. the original is still king. So make sure y'all go tap into these 3 movies. Again, Best Laid Plans, 16 Blocks, and Deep Cover. Make sure y'all tap into those movies. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. I got a featured artist tonight that y'all gotta go tap into their music. Y'all know how I do. Regardless if it's new or old, hip hop or R&B, I'm gonna give y'all some fire music. So my featured artist tonight to go tap into is actually a record label. It's called The Ink, aka Murder Inc. But they had to change their name to The Ink because of legalities. So make sure you put these 3 songs on your playlist by The Ink. Number 1, the song Wonderful featuring Ashanti, Ja Rule, and R. Kelly. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. This song is absolutely fire. Gets the party started, takes the party to a whole nother level. If you chilling, this song is always undefeated. Fire song. Must put this on your playlist. Again, it's called Wonderful, featuring Ashanti, Ja Rule, and R. Kelly. Second must have on your playlist. Again, Living It Up. Fire, undefeated song by Ja Rule featuring Case. Fire song. This gets the party started. You hear this at every barbecue, every cookout. These are one of those ones. All right. And my third must have on your playlist is called Girls Around the World. Lloyd featuring Lil Wayne. Fire song. Again, another song that's undefeated. Make sure y'all put those 3 songs on your playlist by The Ink. Again, Wonderful featuring Ashanti, Ja Rule, R. Kelly. Number 2, Living It Up, Ja Rule, and Case. Number 3, Girls Around the World, Lloyd, featuring Lil Wayne. So make sure y'all put that on y'all playlist. Fire songs. Y'all know I don't play no games when it comes to this music. So make sure y'all put that on y'all playlist. Fire songs. Y'all should. I'll be interested enough to hear what type of songs y'all may got for me to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Because a few songs y'all told me to tap into, I tapped into, and it was fire. So I'll be interested to know what type of songs y'all got on y'all playlist, and that y'all bumping on a regular basis. So I'll be interested to hear that. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next one. You know I'm gonna give y'all a book to read, must read. Gotta have a must read on this. Fire book called The Strong Mind. Again, fire book called The Strong Mind. The Art of Building Inner Strength to Overcome Life Difficulties. Again, the book is called The Strong Mind. The Art of Building Inner Strength to Overcome Life Difficulties. And this book is by Ryuo Okakwa. Ryuo Okakwa. Yes, Ryuo Okakwa. Again, great book. Again, great for the mind. Great for stability and mental health. So make sure y'all tap into this book. It's a great book to read. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next one. Again, don't forget to hit them likes. Don't forget to hit them 100s in the chat. It helps with the growth of the show. And again, we got over 450 rewatchable videos of this podcast on this channel. So again, we appreciate it as always. Shout out to Rowan Jack, song Loch Lemon by the Pride of Scotland. Where the original heavy metal. Okay. There's some heavy metal I could bang with. I keep it funky. There's some heavy metal I could bang with. You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely take a listen to that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A little switch up. People gotta expand their palette. You know what I'm saying? Your music palette. You know. So make sure y'all tap into that. I'm gonna tap into that. See what that's ringing about. It has. It's just the bagpipes. Oh, it's just the bagpipe. Oh, okay, the bagpipe joint. The bagpipe is that the bagpipe joint that they play at like the parades and stuff like that. Cause that joint go hard. You know what I'm saying? That joint go hard. Like that joint is fire. In New York City, anytime there's like what they call that? St. Patrick's Day, they got the bagpipes out there and they play this one particular song and it's fire. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the go-to because they know it's a guaranteed hit. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to know that. You know what I mean? So shout out to Rowan Jack for that suggestion. I'm gonna tap into that though. I didn't even know. I never knew the name of the song. Never knew. So I'm gonna tap into that. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Send them to Turkey. Send them to Turkey. We came up with the segment because Turkey has some of the most stringent laws in the world. I brought it up one time and it became like an inside joke on the show, sending somebody to Turkey because they just terrible people or made a bad decision. So we're gonna send them to Turkey or nah. Send them to Turkey or nah. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Remember, typing in for sending them. No, typing in for not sending them to Turkey and type in T to send them to Turkey. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. All right, y'all. First one. The FTC is accusing LA Fitness, the parent company, of making it excessively difficult to cancel its gym memberships in a lawsuit. Let me know, are we sending FTC to Turkey or not for accusing LA Fitness of having excessively hard memberships to get out of? Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. In the chat, they going with T. In the chat, they going with T. Me personally, I'm gonna go with not sending them to Turkey because the FTC, if they hold them Planet Fitness accountable, then I can't send them to Turkey, in my opinion. Me personally, because there's a lot of truth to that. Like Planet Fitness, or most gyms, I should say, it's not that hard to get a membership. It literally takes maybe about 20 minutes. You go in there, you sign you sign your information, and boom, you got a membership once you pay your money. But when it comes to like, yo, I want to discontinue the membership, oh, you got to speak to this person, you got to speak to that person, you got to fill this out, you got to fill that out, and it's all conjunction to. It's not just a one or be all type of thing. So me personally, I'm not going to send them to Turkey because I do agree. I think it's excessively hard to get out of gym memberships, and to get one is super easy. Again, you could go into the local gym near you and you have one within 20 minutes because they know people walking into the gym wanting them new memberships. They don't want to be wasting their time filling out paperwork. So let's get this initial paperwork that we need done, which literally takes about 5 to 10 minutes the most. And all right, cool. Here's your locker. Here's your key. Boom. And you off to the races in your workout. So, and they understand that. So now that it's extremely difficult to cancel it, I agree with them. And the fact that they suing, they actually trying to get people's money back because for months or for like a good year, people couldn't cancel, and the gym is just taking their money, from their accounts and everything. And people even tried to shut their bank account down and got new accounts, and they still up on that money on. So I agree with the FTC that they have it extremely difficult to stop gym memberships. Let me see the chat. Renewals should be in person, no auto renewal. I like that idea. I also think there should be like a button, whether you're there or not. It's like, we live in the electronic world when people go on their laptop, their phone, and they could just go on the website and click in their membership and be like, yeah, discontinue as well. I think there should be a myriad of options. And I think the more options that it is to get out of something, the less likely people want to get out of it because it's constantly in their face. That's just me personally, as a consumer as well. All in the paperwork as you read before you sign. That's a fact. But here's the thing. Let's be all the way honest. In the fine print of the paperwork, it's the smallest thing in the corner somewhere. and you need like a magnifying glass to really read those parts. So there is some truth to what you're saying. A contract is a contract. It's still a contract at the end of the day. But people, you're gonna lose long-term clients if you make something harder to get out of. I'm just saying. Because if it's easy to get out of, like, you know what, they was cool. I'll go back for a few months and then whatever. So, kind of have told, hold yourself accountable if you don't read. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I agree with the fact of being accountable for that information as well. But in big bold letters, all you see is $5 a month. In the little small letters, where you need a magnifying glass to see, is in order to cancel, you need to have a written consent. You got to tell your bank. You got to do all these list of things. And again, it's still truth to what you're saying. Accountability. You still signed up for it. So, but I think moving forward, if people are going to have gym memberships, people that's going to join it got to make it like, if I join, this is what I want. I want to, I want these things in my contract, so that way I'm able to do this and that and the third as well. Albertstein, shout out to you though. Hit them likes, hit the 100s while you're here. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so again, but again, shout out Paul, because again, accountability does matter. Accountability does matter. So, but I still agree with the fact that I'm not going to send them to Turkey because of that, because they're at least trying to get these people money back. All right, y'all, moving on to our next send them to Turkey or not. Again, type in T to send them to Turkey, type in N not to send them to Turkey. All right, y'all, the upcoming boxing match is coming up, and they made the fight between Tank Davis and Jake Paul. Are we sending this fight to Turkey or not? Are we sending this fight to Turkey or not? Let me know what y'all think in the chat. The reason why this is even a question is mainly because if you look at Gervonta Davis, Tank Davis measurables, he's 5'5", 134 pounds, and his wingspan is 5'7", right? When you think of a guy like Jake Paul, he's 6'1". He's on the shorter side of 6'1", so he's more like 6'2". 6'1", 199 pounds, and his wingspan is 6'4". So that size differential is crazy in a boxing fight. Now, in a street fight, that kind of sort of matters a little bit. Not really, for real, if you know how to fight, because most people in real world don't know how to really fight. So guys who are big rely on their size to scare people, to hope that they don't get into a fight or meet somebody that could really fight. But in a boxing sense, Jake Paul is not Tank Davis boxing. He's not. But Jake Paul is fundamentally sound. And he is still 6'1", 6'2", 199 pounds. He knows how to throw a punch. He knows how to take a punch. So he's not getting in the ring on the novelty. At this point, he's worked his way into actually being recognized as some sort of amateur boxer. So to have that type of advantage, size-wise, strength-wise, I think that matters. He also has a reach on him. He also has him by power. Tank Davis is very powerful, short, compact, very powerful puncher, but he's still 134 pounds. He's not punching another 134 pounds. He's punching 199. So to me, that makes the world a difference. But y'all sending that to Turkey. I agree with you. I'm sending this to Turkey myself. I'm sending this fight to Turkey. This should not be a fight. And I spoke about it before in the show, when we talked about the 80s era of boxing, where all the great fighters, they fought each other. And they ain't fight each other once. They fought each other 2, 3, 4 times. Like, it was brawl for it all. In this era, guys don't want to fight each other. They don't want to mess up their record. So the fact that Tank Davis, instead of doing a rematch with with the other guy that took him to the limit. That took him to the limit. And some people felt like the other guy won. And some people felt like Tank won. Instead of making that fight again that people really want to see, you fight a guy that's more known as being a novelist, a YouTuber, so to speak. But at the same time, he's had enough fights to not be considered a YouTube boxer. He's more so of an amateur. So I don't like this fight. I think this is surely for views, the publicity, and I think there's going to be some sort of agenda going on with this fight. Obviously, they trying to get paid, but I don't think we're going to see a fight. I don't think we're going to see a fight. Because, again, look at that size. And then if Jake Paul wins, what do he gain? He beats somebody that's 5'7", 134 pounds. And now if Tank wins, what do he gain? Tank, you're one of the best fighters in the world at your weight class. Or pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. What am I saying? And you beat him, and people already consider him a YouTuber. So that there's no benefit on this fight but getting money. Shout out to the chat. I don't understand how they put those two different weight classes together. One sounds like a heavyweight and the other a lightweight. So basically, that's what it is. Basically, one is a lightweight and the other one is like a light heavyweight, like 199, anywhere from like 199 to about like 208 is considered like light heavyweight. So again, if Jake Paul was just a YouTuber, if he didn't have prior fights, I still don't like the fight, but I can understand it a little bit more. Going size versus skill, right? But Jake Paul do have some sort of skill. He's had enough fights, again, I keep saying this, to be considered an amateur instead of just a YouTuber. So, I don't like the fight. It screams to me, payday. We trying to get these views up. They going to sell this fight regardless. People will watch the fight. But I'm sending it to Turkey. It's not even important. It's not going to change any course of history or anything. So I'm sending this all the way to Turkey. Ali, for the money, yep, he's not going to win. Which one you going with, Ali? You going with Tank or you going with Jake Paul? Let me know in the chat. Rowan Jack, if Tank wins, he get a lifetime supply of... Rowan Jack is stupid. Like I said before, y'all, I don't feel like there's no upside to this fight at all outside of just the money. Just going to picking up some money, and that's probably the only thing. And it's quite interesting. I believe Jake Paul made about $31 million from his last fight. So you got a guy like Tank Davis. It's the gate will probably mirror the same amount, anywhere from 20, 25, 30 million easy. So, there's no upside to this for both guys. Whoever wins, there's no bragging right to this fight at all. He's not beating Tank. We're gonna see. Again, you have no argue with me when it comes to skill. Tank skillfully on a whole nother level. He's been doing this forever. But Jake Paul has had enough fights, and he's a heavy guy considered to Tank. I'm just saying, he's a heavy guy considered, and those punches is not the same. When you hitting another guy your weight class, them punches hurt. But when you fighting somebody relatively smaller than you, it don't hit the same. So, we're going to see. I don't even know if somebody will even get knocked out in this fight. I really believe that they're going to put on a good show. Nobody's going to get knocked out. There's going to be a decision, and they just come to get their bag. I really do believe that, because there's no way Tank opts to fight him instead of the fight that he needs to have with the gentleman that he just fought that took him to the limit. That's a fight that he could win again, but that's also a fight that he could lose that people want to see. He's in your weight class. But this is a novelty fight considerably for Tank, and there's no upside on this. A shout out to Jim Roche in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit them likes, hit them 100s. Hit them likes, hit them 100s. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all already know. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. Button hyphenated sign snaps.com. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. First hot topic of the night, y'all. Dr. Umar is back. Dr. Umar is back, and he's offering a lunch date to women in exchange for $500 in donation money towards his FDM. His Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy School for Boys. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Ain't nobody going to get knocked out. Yeah, that's what I said. I don't think nobody's gonna get knocked out. Going back to the statement with Tank Ali. Yep. Shout out to Vic in the building, one of our day ones in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Call me Elroy, not Elroy. What y'all think about Dr. Umar back offering lunch date to women for in exchange for $500 in donation towards his Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy School for Boys? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, this is just bad timing, just bad everything overall. It screams shady. Like I seen it in the chat, somebody said shady. This screams shady. This don't sound like it has any great intentions behind it at all. Because in order to really raise money for something as important of a school, the last place you go into is the internet. And if you made your foundation the internet, and then you're saying you're going back to the internet after you done had a situation where you obtained the property of the school and then lost it, people are not going to be willing to break you off. As smart as Dr. Umar is, and he's in certain communities and have access to certain people, why is none of these people that he has access to that have lots of money where they can write off a check for 100, 200, 300,000 like nothing? Why haven't any of them wrote you a check? Why? To me, it just doesn't make sense. If you're for the great of the children, if you're out there and you're doing the Lord's work and you making the right connections and people, to me, it screams that you rubbed some people the wrong way that could have helped you. When you isolate yourself in a way where it's not beneficial to your cause, then do it justifies the means. In this case, it doesn't. Because it's admirable to have a school for melanated children, for them to have ideology and being taught by people that look like us and that's for us, and they have that foundation. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's not being told through a skewed lens. Nothing wrong with that. But he's been in spaces in the last 10 to 15 years where people can write checks. And the best that you can say is the people that can write checks their money going to come with a supersede of their ideas over yours. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I've been around people that give. I've seen other people get, and they give and they get for their cause without having to change the ideas and the ideology of what that person was trying to do. And being in the new form, a new span, the world that we are in today, where we can utilize social media and we can see people of our culture who are millionaires, thousandaires, billionaires. You mean to tell me not one was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna get you together. I'm gonna help you out, bro. None of them have ever pulled up on you just to chop it up with you, just to see where your mind is at. So the fact that he's offering lunch dates for exchange. Now my next question: who's paying for the lunch date? So the ladies are going to give him the $500, for the donation, and then they will have to pay for the date, because if they giving you $500, right, for the school, if your accounts is frozen, who paying for the date? I'm confused. So you're asking them to pay for the date as well, plus the $500 donation. Again, this screams terrible. There's no foundation on business. So again, I mean, and I'm not here to bash him at all. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm really not. I'm really about positivity and understanding what we could do as a culture. So I don't want to make it seem like what I'm saying is coming off as bashing, because I don't have to bash him to make my point, because I haven't. But this needed to be said. It doesn't make sense. Even the whole freezing story, the money got frozen, don't make sense. Being the fact that they take the builder from him in a matter of weeks, that don't make sense. They're going to give you a notice months in advance, especially when you have the city involved. They can't just take your building with a week's notice. They don't work like that, bro. And the fact that he tried to spin it like, yeah, a partner of mine, needed some funds and I went in my account, and that's how I found out that my account was frozen. Like, bro, come on. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Shout out to Jay in the building. Appreciate you. Hit them likes, hit them 100s for that whack ass joke. Vic, if you had $1 million, I'll give half of it away. Okay. Paul, now if you remind me his accounts are frozen, where he deposit the date money? See what I'm saying, Paul? You see what I'm saying? See? Keep it a buck. Can a brother get a rap? I wasn't ready for that one. That was funny. That was funny. I wasn't ready for that. If I had $1 million, I'm putting it all on black. Shout out to Dixon in the building. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. Appreciate that. See, here's the thing, right? I do believe in giving. I do believe, because I do that. But to give somebody that has access, they have to earn. They have to earn. And once I feel like they earn that place, then we could work. When you call people out and then in return you need some money on, it's just not a good mix. If you're really trying to get things done, you have to learn how to utilize people for their strengths. And he's took the long route to build this school, and he took the fast route to lose it. It just doesn't make sense how his personal account is linked to the school's account. So much to the point where if they shut down his account, they can shut down the school's account. And then now he's trading dates for $500 donations. But if your accounts are frozen, you can't just open up another account. So would you PayPal in it? So that's what we do. Like realistically, how far is this going to go doing it this way? Let's say he finds 10 women that would give $500 a piece. Beautiful. That's $5,000 right there. But $5,000, you mowing upstream, bro. Each building, I believe, is like 20,000 in the hole for each, plus tax and penalties. So $5,000 is not going to be enough. So with all that consciousness, with all that knowledge, there has to be somebody within the culture that believes in the dream so much, not from you necessarily, but for your dream that's going to affect the kids, the boys growing up based on the knowledge that could be given to make them better, make the community better. There has to be somebody be like, you know what? I bang with you so hard, we're going to knock out this whole thing one time. And ain't nobody step up. That means your name is not good anymore when it comes to giving a donation to. Let's call a spade a spade. Probably a bad terminology to use in this point in time, but at the end of the day, resorting to exchange dinner dates for $500 donations, it screams too many other questions. So that's how I feel about that, me personally. Shout out to Steve C in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Antonio, quit playing, man. Patrick McKean in the building. I have 20-part documentary exposures you on my channel. Appreciate that, Patrick. Hit them likes, hit them 100s while you here. Hit them likes, hit them 100s while you here. Ali, the school's supposed to be in Newark, New Jersey. Yeah, they have it in it ended up in Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware, if I'm not mistaken. The fact that he's trying to get some booty out of it has charity is ridiculous. It's clarity is ridiculous. Y'all said it, not me. You know what I'm saying? But I said what I said. Patrick McKean, just kidding. Y'all, it's all love, Patrick. It's all love. Hit them likes, hit the 100s, hit them likes, hit the 100s. But it's very, like, me personally, I love to see brothers doing positive things, especially within and for the community. But that hope tap hustling is very predatorial. I wouldn't even say predatorial. It's just dangerous. Because predatorial is basically you doing something that people don't have an idea what you're going to do. When people, again, has accountability and they could choose to give or don't give. So predatorial is not a great use of the word. I'm just going to say it's just one of those things where it's just terrible. Like, taking from the community and not giving into the community is not positive. And when people are really hurt when they say, well, I've been given to the community. The least they could do is this if I'm trying to do that. Listen, nobody owes anybody anything. Nobody. If you're going to do something, do it. Don't have excuses for not doing it and doing it. You can't have it both ways. It's either you're going to do something or you're not. And when the coach is involved and when you say it loud and proud, we're going to hold you accountable for it. Simple and plain. Nobody wanted to see the school more than me and a couple other people. And I'm not necessarily a Dr. Umar advocate or fan. But when something is bigger than myself, I step all the way the hell back. I don't got no real issues with Dr. Umar. I don't know him. But if he's doing something that's going to benefit the community, I'm all for it. Even if I don't think he should be speaking on some of the things that he's speaking on. But other things he's more than qualified to speak on when it comes to the struggle and understanding the lineage of, of the culture community past. But when it comes to doing something in the community, I'm in full support of that too. But just do it. Don't say you're going to do something and trying to do something and you don't do it. People will hold you accountable. You're not different from anybody else. Because if it was anybody else that was trying to start a school and didn't start a school, they'll be on their ass too. I'm just saying. We've seen Jalen Rose do it. We've seen Nelly do it. We've seen Casa not do it. So, again, I wanted this to happen for the other little boys that could have benefited from his program. But it's not happening. Exactly, social science. Yes, social science is a skill. Maybe Dr. Umar needs To Ask female rapper Sukihana from. I can't even get what I want to say out. Shout out to Paul. She's funny. Um, you this I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. This whole Dr. Umar situation. This would have been a great episode for a show like the Boondocks, where the only way Dr. Umar could have got the money to save the school is that the so-called, because he has this thing where he says, snow bunnies never, black queens forever, that he had to get the money from, a white woman. And it would take care of everything. But it was like, are you going to put your integrity on the line, or are you going to put the bottom line on the line? And I think that's something that the Boondocks would have did in their cartoon, and that would have been hilarious. Uh, Shout out to Caesar in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Massey, what kind of snow bunnies? Yeah, that's what he says. That's what he says. Snow bunnies, never, black queens forever. Ain't he? Cabin, yeah. So it would have been interesting. I think that would have been a funny episode. I know for a fact that Boondocks would have pulled something off like that easily, and they would have had Uncle Ruckus cooking and something like that for that particular episode. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Uh, the Howard football team. Shout out to the Howard football team. The Howard football team coach, Coach Scott. He surprised 3 of his walk-on players with scholarships. They haven't released their last names, but I have their first names. Shout out to Joseph. Shout out to Jaden. And shout out to Montrell. These young players kept their head down, worked very hard, and earned scholarships on their team, which is very big. And it makes obviously the world of difference in your academic, but also in your sports life as well too. So shout out to Coach Scott at Howard and those players for putting in that hard work, believing in each other, and for them to take their scholastics and their athletics to another level. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. A judge has banned DDG and Halle Bailey from posting each other son while on social media. A judge has banned DDG and Halle Bailey from posting their son on social media. It was previously only restricted to DDG, but now the judge has made it for both of them. Due to Halle feel like there's a safety hazard if there's a lot of pictures of her son or of their son on social media. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to Ali. That's a beautiful thing. Oh, talking back to the Howard, right? That Howard, yes, that's a beautiful thing. Yes, them young men was working hard and earned themselves some scholarships. Yes, that's a fact, Ali. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about the judge has banned both DDG and Halle Bailey for being able to post their son on social media. Me personally looking at this situation, this is all the way petty. This is all the way with control. This is not something I don't believe DDG went to the judge with and say, hey, I don't want to be able to post pictures of my son and she shouldn't be able to either. I think this is something that exclusively came from Halle. And this has more so to do with them than the parenting. When you're in a relationship and things don't go the way that you want it to go, meaning you want to be able to control it, every beat and flow, but you're dealing with somebody that has their own. And when you deal with people that have their own, they're not going to be on the same page with you. You're not going to be able to dictate how you're going to want to dictate, especially woman to man. When you share a child together, guess what? Because this is for both people. Fellas, and I know we know this, but you can't have a child without women. But there's a lot of women out there that seem to realize, that seem to forget You can't have a child without this man. It's super petty for you not to be able to want to choose, not want to, but not being able to post pictures of you and your children. It's super petty. Now, there's some parents that may have a proclivity on how they look. They're not satisfied on how they look. So they project it onto the next parent. The next parent likes the way they look. They love the way their child looks. So they're going to post pictures of them doing great things. That in itself is a fight in their own mind, but they're making it the person that they're dealing with, their fight. So it's unfortunate. Having the choice to post pictures of your children should be a choice. Like me personally, I was very conscientious of posting a lot of pictures of my daughter. Me personally. And it had nothing to do with me at all. It had everything to do with me finding research that there's a lot of pervs out there and they use children pictures as kiddie porn. So me having that idea, and I have a young lady that's like, yeah, I'm not going to post a lot of pictures of her like that. You know what I mean? And if that's where she's coming from with it, then I understand. But this doesn't feel that way at all. This feel like you do this, I'm going to do that, and it's becoming like a petty tug and pull. I don't believe DDG would get into the judgment like, yeah, I want post pics of my son, and I don't want her to either. I just think that it becomes, everything has to be fair. If I can't do something, she shouldn't be able to do something. It's all fair. And then the fact that he still has to do his visitations with his son supervised, that's damn near like a slap in the face. That's saying that you are not equipped or responsible. That's a slap in the face, and that's very hard for fathers to deal with when we can't interact with our children and it's just me and the child. And all the videos you see with me and my child has always been positive. Regardless what you think is going on in my house, you only could go by what you see. I'm just saying. And the world see DDG as a concerned and loving dad to his son. So the fact that there's a lot of petty games going on, at this point, it's not about the son. It's about her feeling like she needs to have control over everything. That's just the way it is. Because most men, when we're in control of, when our child can come over and do this with their mom, we're not trying to control like much for real. We not, unless mom is on crack or somebody that's just a mentally disturbed person. We not really gonna, we not doing that. Like, yo, I'm gonna pick my child up at 6 o'clock. We not pulling up at 3. We may pull up at 6:30 so you'd have got more time with the child. That's just how most men and our mindset, that's just how we roll. So the fact that, and I don't want to make it man versus woman, I'm making it personal between just them in particular, them as individuals, not personal, but them as individuals. It just seems like a power play. So it's unfortunate that they can't share those moments that they feel like they want to share with the world. Shout out to Paul. Good idea if they are playing tit for tat and using the son against each other. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, those of us who are older 30, have children, and had children with somebody that we're no longer with. We've seen this game time and time again, right? And the best thing that you can do is be on the same page. What really creates broken homes is the fact that the parents are not on the same page. You don't need to be in the same household for you to produce a great child. Just be on the same page. Put foot to ass. When mom says something, dad is going to back it up. When dad says something, mom is going to back it up. If there's a competing nature, the child is going to feel a constant need to pick and choose, especially as they get older, because they already feel it immediately. So as they get older, they're going to feel like they got to pick and choose. and they're going to learn how to play mom, and they're going to learn how to play dad. Because that's the only way they could really figure this out. So at the end of the day, this is not necessarily hurting, both parents. This is going to hurt the child, because he's going to have questions that he's not going to understand. And as parents, most parents don't sit down and tell our children our hurt and what we're going through with the person that we share you with. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's just a play for power, and it's unfortunate. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. Don't forget to hit them likes. Don't forget them 100s in the chat, y'all. All right, next hot topic. Question. Why do people measure the true value of friendship based on what they can get? Again, the question, I'm going to repeat the question. Why do most people measure the true value of their friendship based on what they can get? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. For me, I've heard it screamingly for like the last 10 years. Whether somebody is my friend, former friend, whether I've heard one of my friends deal with their friends, it just feels like a lot of friendships with the true value, how it's being measured, is based on what you could get out of that friend. Whether you can get some money or make a play or just benefit from that friend. And if that friend don't give or don't hook you up, then the friendship is a wash. You don't hear from them. They're not in a place where they need you. And I always say that. I was like, you really want to know when somebody mess with you for real? Is when they show up and they don't need you. When they show up unprompted and they don't need you, that's a true friend. You ever had like a party, a get together, or anything, and somebody showed up and you didn't expect them to show up? And mind you, they don't benefit from showing up. Like you're not giving them money, you're not giving them clout. It's nothing that they could gain for them showing up outside of your friendship. And you like, damn, yo, you showed up. I was expecting this person to show up. And this person would show up if they have something to gain. So that's something I've been realizing for like the last 10 years, where most people measure the true value of friendship based on what they could get out of the person, which is a scary thing, because that lets you, it makes you wonder if people really mess with you or not. Like there's some people that, and it's mostly some of my relatives, I can go years without speaking to them. Years. But when I speak to them, it felt like I just spoke to them yesterday. We picked up right where we left off. And it's always an amazing energy, amazing feeling. They don't need nothing. They just want to know how you're doing, and vice versa. It's always an amazing energy amongst something like that. So that made me realize something.